command, even though he's on a list for lying. Assistant Chief James Keller is on what's called a Brady list kept by prosecutors. That means what he says may not even hold up in court. Only on Cairo 7, David Ham talked to Bonney Lake's police chief, and David, she didn't even know he was on this list.
Yeah, Angela, and it's not hard to find out. We got this list from the prosecutor's office, or you could also do a quick Google search.
I just lost all respect for the chief.
Bonney Lake resident Bill Byrne was flabbergasted when we told him Police Chief Dana Powers didn't know her Assistant Chief James Keller is on what's called the Brady list. It's a list kept by prosecutors of officers who have criminal convictions or have sustained findings of dishonesty or false statements. In 2004, an internal investigation found Keller tried to scare an informant by leading him to believe he'd be thrown in the river, adding there were troubling discrepancies in his statements and that the sheriff didn't believe his accounts. We were there when Keller was on trial. He was acquitted of assault.
I'm trying to reach Chief Powers or Assistant Chief Keller.
Keller and Chief Powers weren't available in person. Chief Powers said over the phone she didn't know or believe Keller was on the list, adding he is a very honest and hardworking officer. The mayor wasn't in his office when we went to see him, but he called us back and said he didn't know Keller was on the list. Current King County Sheriff John Urquhart wouldn't talk about Keller specifically, but said being a Brady cop isn't necessarily a career killer.
Relatively few cases are determined or thrown out because somebody's on the Brady list. There are ways around it.
While King County keeps a Brady list, Pierce County doesn't, but the prosecutor said it's up to departments to disclose this background. In this case, it was up to Bonney Lake Police. Chief Powers said she was unaware, a claim Keller can't make.
Do you think that, the Assistant Chief was lying by omission in this case?
Had to be.
And Keller was sworn in as Assistant Chief back in February. He makes $109,000 a year. Live in Bonney Lake, David Ham, Cairo 7, Eyewitness News.
Note 6.